My first guest for this lunch hour is Filipp Chebotarev, the partner and chief operating officer of Cambridge SPG. Filipp, thanks so much for being with me.
Thank you so much for having me back on the show.
So for viewers at home who aren't familiar with Cambridge SPG, what do you guys do?
Sure. So Cambridge SPG is a strategic opportunity investment company, and we have a very high focus on consumer products, more specifically organic, better for you food and beverage brands.
Investment in these brands.
Correct.
And so there's a lot of investment vehicles out there. There's a lot of firms out there that are looking to get into this food and beverage space. You know, what's your approach? What's your sort of investment thesis given the current state of the food industry?
Sure. Well, obviously, I think it's evident that today things are changing very quickly, right? Consumer preferences and choices are driving that change. And the food industry, the big food industry, often has a hard time keeping up from an innovation and R&D standpoint. They also lack consumer trust, especially with new generation shoppers, and that has given emerging brands an expedited path to grow very quickly, take market share, by coming out with unique and better for you offerings to consumers. We look to invest in those brands. And what makes us unique in part of this ecosystem from the investment standpoint is that we've invested in seed rounds. We've led Series A rounds. We've led Series B, participated in C rounds and later stage. So we're able to invest across multiple life cycles and really use our relationships in the industry, whether it's media, whether it's distribution, retailer relationships, to help drive additional growth for the brands in which we invest and which we partner with.
So what are some of the sizes of investments that you've made in brands? I mean, you mentioned
sure.
seed, A, B. I mean, it sounds like it's anywhere from $1 million to $5 million.
So earlier stage, we've invested as low as, call it $150,000 to $250,000 in an early stage seed round, and up to $5 million.
Okay.
So pretty diverse range.
So we talked about the investment size and your thesis. What are some of the brands that Cambridge SPG has already invested in?
Sure. So we're invested in close to 24 brands.
Wow.
Brands like Foodsters with actress Sarah Michelle Gellar, Greg Fleischman and Galit Leibo.
The Baking Kit brand.
Baking Kit brand. Once Upon a Farm with CEO John Foraker and, of course, Jennifer Garner.
Yep.
We helped lead that Series A. We're invested in a fast-growing brand called Fourth and Heart, which is a maker of the best ghee butter in the market.
It's pretty good. Ghee, one would think edible ghee butter. Why would you? But it's actually pretty amazing. It's pretty innovative.
It's the best, and you better believe that.
Yeah.
So
Well
Tiesta Tea, which
Sure.
a company which we recently invested in, we are investors in a company called Fish People, or sustainable wild-caught seafood. Wild Friends,
Yep.
maker of nut butter and nut butter-based products. And Tosi, which is Tosi Super Bites, which is the crunchiest product in our portfolio. So when we evaluated our portfolio, we saw that we were lacking crunch, and Tosi fixed all that, and it's actually one of the best performers in our portfolio currently. And other brands, of course, as well.
It's one of your most recent investments too, right, Tosi?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And we recently announced with NOSH our Series A lead position in Tosi.
So in terms of, you mentioned you're looking for like a crunchy aspect of your portfolio. I mean, is that a real thing? I mean, are you really looking at sort of the different need states and opportunities for snacking when you're considering your investments?
So yes and no. So obviously the crunch of a product is not really relevant to our financial interests.
Sure.
But that format in snack, especially that format within a pretty vast bar category, does make Tosi very differentiated. And so what makes it extremely unique is it has about 4 ingredients, all natural, organic. One of the only brands that's now classified as glyphosate free, which is huge. Tastes incredible, low sugar, high in plant-based protein, but again, more importantly, it tastes amazing. Now, from a business standpoint, its rate of sale when it's on the shelf alongside other major bar competitors is meaningfully higher. Now, those competitors are on a lot more shelves, and they're much bigger companies, but in the channels where Tosi is sold alongside those major national competitors, we do exceptionally well. And we've seen great growth in that business. So we were able to lead the Series A, bring in a lot of great relationships that we've had. Some great folks joined the board. Greg Fleischman, of course, being one of them. Gigi Li Cheng, the original founder of Plum Organics, joined. Matt Spolar, one of the original Atkins founders, came in and joined. Robin Rutledge, who was a partner at TSG Consumer, invested and joined the board. And so there's a great ecosystem of talent that has gathered around Tosi in concert with our investment. And it's had an exceptionally positive impact on the business as a whole.
Now, you mentioned, and you alluded to the fact that your connections in the industry have helped your investments or helped you work with brands in a sort of value-added way. And you know, when we talk to brands, they always talk about how they're looking for more than just the more than just the finance aspect. They're looking for people that can help them navigate the industry. So, what is Cambridge SPG? You know, in the case of Cambridge SPG, you know, what is your value add? What do you bring to the table beyond the finances?
Of course, and it's of course very different depending on the company, the life cycle of the company, the needs of the company. But we have extremely vast capabilities, and a lot of that is from a relationship standpoint. So myself and the other partners at Cambridge SPG, as well as our operating partners, bring an exceptional amount of experience and relationships and connections, whether it is to major influencers, Class A or A-list celebrities, right? Distribution across conventional stores or C-stores, right? Other national chains that we have relationships with. So different on different companies, right? Because in the case of a celebrity, for example, celebrity is not always the right move for a brand. Some brands don't need to partner with a celebrity because they're doing exceptionally well and the celebrity deal could be expensive. Others could vastly benefit from the celebrity aspect, right? Innovation resources, data, right? And just experience in consumer, now being invested in close to 24 consumer brands, and we've seen quite a lot, right? What goes right, what goes wrong. When something goes wrong, what is a good way to fix that and correct that and get back on course? And building a consumer brand is not easy.
Right.
It is not, you know, I'm going to start this product in my kitchen, I'm going to scale it, and I'm going to sell it for a couple $100 million 3-4 years later. It's not how it works. There's a lot of ups, downs, and sometimes you get lucky and you hit a winning streak and you get an account you didn't expect, your margin is higher than you expected, and sometimes you hit a snag, right? You're forecasting that you'll get this account last minute, there's a wrench in the deal, you don't get it, you have to revise the strategy. And so because we have now quite a lot of experience across various different brands, different product offerings in different categories, we've seen a lot of the things that go right and a lot of the things that don't go right. And so that knowledge is something that we bring to the table as well.
We have about 30 seconds left. I'm going to put you on the spot. What trends or categories do you see as having the most potential for investment, particularly when it comes to your firm?
That is a good question, a very difficult question. So obviously,
you can't answer that in 30 seconds?
The crunch format for Tosi is huge.
Sure.
We are also early stage investors in a brand called H Factor, which is hydrogen water. And hydrogen water could be the next alkaline water. A lot of things need to happen for that to occur, but it has significant potential. It is growing unlike anything I've ever seen from a velocity standpoint in key accounts. And so with a little bit of luck, we will be the next alkaline water.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. Filipp, thank you so much for being on the Livestream Studio. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good luck with the rest
much.
of the show.